It is the Good Friday edition of Litter Media Live on this April 3rd, 2026. I'm Dan Ramey.
I'm Aaron Glandon.
Aaron Glandon.
Are you having a good Friday?
Well, it's not what I thought it was going to be.
No, it's not.
I was planning on doing something completely different today, and then I received word that we were going to have a special visitor here in Chillicothe today. We'll explain who that is in just a moment. But first, let's take a look at what's shaping up for your weather for today. We do run the risk of some sunshine. Yeah, we like seeing that. Probably about 2 o'clock, some of the clouds will part, have a little bit of sunshine, but then maybe another shower again before the evening hours. We'll have temperatures tonight down in the mid-60s, and then tomorrow looking for a high about 81 with more sunshine. And again, late shower activity heading into Easter Sunday. Your Easter Sunday will be much cooler. In fact, we're starting off the work week with temperatures in the upper 50s to low 60s next week. So that's going to bring us back to where normal range is for our temperatures. We've enjoyed the warmer temperatures the last couple of days.
We've probably enjoyed them too much that we've gotten used to them, and now they're being stripped away from us.
And then we'll just complain. But that's I saw someone on Facebook earlier this week saying we've turned into complain-a-coffee because of all the complaints about the circumstances with the traffic and everything, all the construction going on.
Oh yeah, people had things to say when we were talking about US 35 the other day.
They certainly did, yes. So we feel your pain, but there's nothing we can do about it. We just have to live with it and work around it.
Trust me, I live on High Street. I feel your pain. I know exactly what the struggle is.
Yeah.
I can just see the vision.
I drive in from, Pike County every day on 772, and so I don't have to. For instance, I don't see the downtown very much like I used to because I don't drive to the downtown for work.
Yesterday, I
get to the paper mill and I turn right.
Yeah. Yesterday, I was going to the pump house for their event going on down there, and it took me forever to figure out how to get to the pump house. And I live probably less than a mile away from it.
You could have walked and gotten there faster.
I should have walked, but I didn't leave until 6:20. That was my problem because I was at the Zane Trace baseball game right before.
Gotcha. All right. Sports, news, and more coming your way in just a moment. Also, we have our Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Player of the Week presented by Homeland Credit Union. That's coming up before this program is done as well. So stick close for all that just around the corner. Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing is your trusted comfort advisor. If you've got an issue with any of the conditions in your home in regards to heating or cooling and the plumbing, you want to make sure you reach out to Accurate. Click on this ad anywhere you see it on our website. That's littermedia.com. Click on this ad and it'll take you to their website, accuratehvac.com.
At Tomlinson Insurance, we've been protecting families, farms, and businesses since 1853. From auto, home, farm, life, or health. We tailor coverage that fits your world with multiple carriers to meet your insurance needs. Real people, real service, local agents who can answer the phone and care when it matters most. Tomlinson Insurance. Let our history be your future. Call or stop by today.
The Pike County Career and Technology Center provides hands-on, skilled trades training with engaging curriculums and endless possibilities. From automotive technology, carpentry, business management, to culinary arts and interactive media. From electricity, welding, HVAC, engineering, and medical technology, to pre-nursing, basic food service, and public safety. We're preparing our youth for America's workforce through today's technology. To learn more about Pike County CTC, visit pikectc.org.
Whenever I first applied for the Archways opportunity, do I have to pay this back? Do I have to do that? Is it a loan? And it's not. It's a scholarship. A goal of mine is to graduate college debt-free. If you're a crew member, you get $2,500 a year, and if you're a manager, you get $3,000. And especially if you're going locally to college, to the branch or something like that, it's really helpful.
Life, it can get on top of you quickly, can't it? But with 211, it only takes one step to get connected to the help you need. 211 is always available to help. So get in touch today.
If you go to our website, littermedia.com, that's where you'll find a good bit of what we're discussing here today. But we also have a lot of things on our Facebook and Instagram, Spotify, YouTube. Am I missing anything? X,
yeah.
all
TikTok.
platforms, and Litter Media Radio.
Yeah.
Which we're live on right now. If you go to littermedia.com, you'll find the Litter Media Radio player right there. And when we're done, it'll also go right back into some of the interviews that we've been doing on the show.
Yeah.
Coming up later today, we'll have complete details on what I was covering earlier today, and that was a visit from Senator Bernie Moreno. Back in town today, of course, Good Friday of 2025. He was here to announce that HIG management was willing to keep the paper mill open for a few more months. The plan was the end of December. It ended up being in August when they shut things down, but then reopened in October under new ownership, making surgical gloves. Moreno is back in town today to announce that those paper mill workers are receiving the first payment of the promised funds from HIG.
I vowed back then not to forget Chillicothe and make certain that we were here to make sure this community recovers. And by the way, not only recovers, but actually ends up in a better place than it would have been otherwise. Today's announcement is about the $5.5 million that HIG Capital pledged to the workers of the former Meade facility, the union workers, the guys that woke up and ladies that woke up every single day, went to work, did the right thing, and the rug was pulled out from under them. So the first installment is $1 million, and I want to thank the Foundation for Appalachia for their hard work. They were the one community organization that stepped up and said, we're going to figure out how to do this. So the $1 million is in their bank account. Today, tomorrow, the 569 people who the community identified as who should receive this money will get a letter in the mail with a W-9. Very simple. They fill it out. They have an envelope to send it back. The minute the foundation gets that back, they will process a check. The average check will be a little under $2,000, so the average worker will receive that. They'll get that hopefully in the next 2 weeks. And thanks to the Working Families Tax Cut bill that we passed last year, that will be completely tax-free. So they'll get a check for under $2,000. And in 2030, when the next $4.5 million or the last $4.5 million installment goes out, they'll get a check for about 4 times that. So some people, by the way, will get checks for as much as almost $5,000, which means now they'll get almost 5, and in 2030 they'll get almost 20. But again, the average check is under $2,000. Again, can't be more grateful to the hard work for the county commissioners, the city, the business community, and most importantly, of course, again, the foundation for really stepping up and making this happen. And April 15th, which is normally about tax day, hopefully they'll be getting not only a refund because of the child tax credit that we put in place, the no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security for working Americans, the child daycare tax credit. So hopefully April of this year, for the families here in Chillicothe, they'll see a big bump in money.
I asked Moreno if what's been done here in Chillicothe might be used as a template for how these circumstances may be dealt with in the future.
Well, actually, it's a great question. I think it's a template for how government should respond. As you know, obviously, fervent capitalist, right? I believe in business. I believe in competition. Nobody's more pro-business than I am, but business has to be a good community partner. Business always has to stand up for its workers. And this idea that a business somewhere far away makes a decision to destroy a community is completely unacceptable, and businesses will pay a price for bad behavior. We've seen that here with the Meade. We see it at First Brands. We've seen it for way too long. So I think the new model is a Republican Party that, while being extraordinarily pro-business, is more importantly extraordinarily pro-worker. And that's what we'll see. There's other, obviously, developments that we have to watch here, which is what happens with the U.S. Medical Glove. Make certain that that business is fulfilling its promises and is able to recover and hire.
We also caught up with Timothy Jenkins. He is the former vice president of the local 731 union workers. He said many are happy to hear money is coming. However, many workers have had to look elsewhere for work.
I mean, everybody's going through their own trials and tribulations. I would say approximately 100 to 125 did take a job down at the US Paper Glove. The others have transferred from anywhere from Columbus to Jackson to Portsmouth trying to find work. And most of them have got jobs that want them, but they're still that use their unemployment, let it run out, which almost everybody's unemployment ran out about mid-March. So everybody had to do something or make decisions of one kind.
The bottom line is workers will be receiving checks sometime over the next 2 weeks, and it will be tax-free due to the agreement with the government as well. Jenkins said that about 90% of the current workers down that are making gloves, the surgical gloves, were paper mill workers. So it's good to know that they've got a core group of people that were working at the paper mill. There's about 150 workers now, and we're being told that it could be upwards near 200 sometime this year.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yes. So again, we'll have more details in a website story here on littermedia.com for those of you watching there. And we hope to have that out sometime this afternoon.
Yes. Today's a busy day for the both of us.
It is a busy day.
Yes. Ohio World Heritage Week is coming next Saturday, April 11th through the 18th. All to celebrate the Hopewell Ceremonial Earthworks, Ohio's first and only UNESCO World Heritage Site. Events in Ross County include SEEP Earthworks and Mound City Group with free guided tours at 10 a.m. at SEEP Earthworks on Thursday, April 16th.
It's actually SIPE.
SIPE?
Yes.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. And Thursday, April 16th, and then Mound City on Friday, April 17th. Other events are taking place in Heath, Newark, Fort Ancient, and others. You'll find the schedule in our story at littermedia.com.
Mm-hmm. The Ohio History Connection is pleased to announce that it has awarded 15 Ohio History Fund grants to community history organizations. Now, we were telling you about this the other day, and we've got final details on this. Included is downtown Chillicothe, granted $13,549 in funding to restore that beautiful site you see there. I kind of like the historic look to it, though. But they plan to restore the mail pouch mural facing the green space there of the Majestic Theater on the building housing the poorhouse at Machinery Hall. The historic mail pouch mural, a once common but now rare example of early 20th century advertising art, and one of the downtown's most recognizable landmarks, all right here. The restoration will be completed by a nationally recognized specialist in mail pouch murals, who will recreate the design using historically appropriate methods and materials. So if you're already crazy about what's going on in regards to the traffic around downtown, you're going to have scaffolding up here, and the worker's going to be probably removing this would be my guess, and then replacing that as well.
Well, it sounds to me like they're just going to make it look like what it once looked like.
Precisely. But man, we've seen this aged look to it for so long. It's like, you kind of hate to mess with it a little bit, but this will be for future generations, certainly down the road. The grant will support the staff, time, promotional efforts, and the time and materials for the project's electrician, because they're going to light this up as well, put lighting on it.
Very cool.
The Ohio History Connection awarded about $195,000 in grants this year. It's the second highest amount ever granted.
Very nice. A Chillicothe High School alumnus is coming home for a benefit concert at the Majestic Theater. Litter Media caught up with Jeffrey Wills, who, after graduating from Chillicothe High School and Capital University, played professionally with Arnett Howard and the Creole Funk Band in the 1990s. Wills, now based in Nashville, is bringing his band Rhythm Smith to Chillicothe on May 9th.
All right. Well, there are two of us. We're set up very much like 21 Pilots, and not on purpose. But it's just kind of worked out that way. The first record we released under the name Rhythm Smith is called Politics as Usual. And for all the viewers who just went, oh no, not politics, it's not about politics. It's about human nature. And I think if you listen to the lyrics and really dig into the record, I think people from both sides of the aisle are going to think I wrote it about the other side of the aisle, because it's about human nature. And honestly, at the end of the day, we are all have the same desires and passions and troubles and everything. So, we may disagree on the how, but we all have the same stuff. So Politics as Usual is about human nature and what they can expect to see in the show if they follow the lyrics. And because the lyrics are the most important thing in the show to me, every song has the lyrics on the screen. It is currently at our home show, we have 7 projectors. So the entire room is surrounded in the video that accompanies the song. It's not like going to the Sphere where they have cool video and graphics and lights. The video tells the story of the lyrics. The lyrics tell the story of the video. The music accompanies it. I mean, it truly is a performance art.
Tickets for Rhythmsmith, that's hard to say, Rhythmsmith are available now on majesticchillicothe.net.
It's hard to spell also.
Yeah.
It's like, where's that Y go in rhythm?
Just the word rhythm itself, I never could figure out how to spell it.
Jeffrey was a joy to talk with. We had not talked since probably 1995, maybe, something
Before
like
I
that.
was even around.
Yeah, and when he traveled with Arnett Howard and the Creole Funk Band, which they didn't have to travel too far. They played mostly in Columbus, but that was an almost everyday performance gig.
Wow.
That they had. And I think he was with them for 6 or 7 years. But in the interview, we talk a lot about going back to, we're coming up on the, is it 40th anniversary? Yeah. Next year will be the 40th anniversary of John Mellencamp coming here to do the Small Towns concert that he performed, which helped launch Rock for Tots. And of course, launched and propelled Chip Arledge's career, I was working with Chip at the time. And Chip basically said, I'd like to see John Mellencamp put his money where his mouth is, or put his mouth where his money, either way, because he had this hit record about small town.
Right.
And so it's like, all right, how about you come to a small town and perform? And it started off as a radio gag, basically, but it led to him getting an opportunity to go meet with Mellencamp's people, also to be on with David Letterman. Now, he never made it out of the green room, but he was there at the theater, ready to go in and sit down and talk about what's this a disc jockey from a small town in Ohio. And I think probably because of David Letterman's proximity to not only Indiana, because he was from Indiana and was a Ball State graduate and everything, but knew Mellencamp. And so it all seemed to fit into place. So at any rate, we touched on that and more. And he said that watching Mellencamp that night launched him into wanting to be a live performer.
I bet, yeah.
So, yeah, it's amazing what that's done. He's now a band director at a Christian school in Nashville. That's why you saw the cross and everything behind him in that conversation we had.
Now, the question is, once that amphitheater's done in Yaktangi Park, who do we get?
Yeah, well,
who do we get to kick that off?
Why not Rhythmsmith? That'd be cool. But I'm sure we got a lot of locals that are playing here. Shady Ray, the Loose Pockets, a number of local bands would like to be the first to do that as well.
Peach Jam, they're my pick.
But wouldn't it be cool to get Mellencamp back here?
Yeah.
Once again. Yeah, we've kicked that around about 30 years, but then it kind of faded off into the sunset. Maybe we can start to work on something, see if we can talk him into coming for a 40th anniversary.
Yeah.
We just can't do it.
Use your connections.
We just can't do it in December outside. No. That's a drawback because it was December 16th when he was here of 1987 back then. The Easter Bunny will be hopping out to McDonald's on North Bridge Street near Chillicothe Mall. That'll be tomorrow from 9 a.m. to 11. And as you can see, the big purple fella there, that is Grimace. He will also be there in tow.
You know, Grimace kind of looks like a big Easter egg.
I never thought about that.
Don't try to pick up Grimace and put him in your basket, though.
Grimace and I go back to the 1980s. And I don't have the photo to be able to show you, but there was a period of time when, you don't remember this, I'm sure, McKids was a line of wear that was being sold by McDonald's in JCPenney.
Did not know
And
that.
I was there for a radio broadcast, and Ricky Raybold, who was the son of Karen Raybold, who we worked with at the radio station, he was in the Grimace costume. And I have a picture of me interviewing the Grimace. If I can find that, I'll get it to Aaron so we can throw it up before the end of the show.
There we go. More kids-based events are happening soon, marking Child Abuse Awareness Month. We had a couple of special editions of Litter Media Live programs yesterday, first with Rhiannon Moore in the Garden Family Advocacy Center. The display of pinwheels normally planted at the south entrance to Yoctangi Park will instead be displayed at the Ross County Jobs and Family Service Center. The display is being dedicated at noon today. Or it was dedicated at noon today.
Yeah.
We started this show late.
We intended on being there and unable to because of the visit from Bernie Marino.
Yeah, but Moore tells us what the pinwheels represent.
The pinwheel is a representation of the children who have been abused in our counties. So last year, there was 1,719 cases of child abuse reported in Ross County alone. This year, that number has increased by over 800. This year, we will be representing 2,577 children who have reported abuse and neglect.
You know, I've been following this for a long time. That's one of the top numbers, I think.
It is a very large number, yes, it is. I think, unfortunately, between the stressors of the world, lack of education and information, as well as additional information being provided to children, prevention education is something that's been highlighted across the board for a lot of our states and counties. And I think that is helping for children to recognize, hey, this is not something that should be happening to you, and that there are safe adults out there that can assist you.
Yeah.
The Garden Family Advocacy Center will also have a family fun day at the Pike County Fairgrounds on Saturday, April 18th, which will include a performance from Chillicothe's own Dre Stewart.
Yeah. It should be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Dre will certainly entertain, but he'll also witness to the kids, too.
Yes, he will.
The third annual Kid Palooza from the Children's Services Department of the South Central Ohio JFS is coming Sunday, May 3rd. The event will be held inside Innerland Circle of Yoctangi Park. Training Officer Aaron Jackson explains.
It is a really fun event that we designed with the idea to give back to the community, engage the community, and just have a one-stop shop place where they can come, have kids' games. There are food vendors there, but we also have several community providers who have generously donated their time and resources to be there and, talk about the services that they offer. We have some services for free haircuts, stuff like that. So if you were looking for a fun way to spend a Sunday afternoon, come on down. We'd love to have you.
They're also looking for foster parents to help with the number of needs for the children as well. They'll have people on hand who can talk about becoming a foster parent. People who are foster parents will probably be there, and those who help line that facilitation up will also be there to be able to assist as well.
Yeah.
We were talking about Grimace and I going way back. Let's show you. There it is. Look how young that kid looked. Oh, no white beard.
No glasses even.
Look at that wool on his head.
Yeah.
Ah, yes, the good old days of being young. This goes back to like 1986.
So how old were you in 1986?
I would have been 24. That would have been the summer, so I probably would have been 23.
So I'm 20. I'm 25 right now.
Yeah. You are older now than I was in that photo there.
Yeah. Let's do a little comparison. Which way do I have to turn?
Right
This
there.
way?
Yeah. Have to remove the glasses. Okay, now slide back a little bit because the microphone's in the way. There we go. Yeah. We don't look alike.
Nope.
Both had beards, though. So
And some hair.
yeah, I pretty much had a beard ever since that point in time. It's just changed in color.
I think we'll just leave this photo up for the rest of the
I think that's it for the rest of the show. We've got sports on the way next, so stick close for that. Also up ahead, this date in history, and we've got our player of the week to introduce to you in just a bit.
Wherever you are, You're there for a reason. You shouldn't have to make a trip to the branch just to deposit a check. Skip the trip and use our mobile app to easily and securely deposit checks from your phone. Day or night, wherever you are, or whatever you're doing, download the Kingston National Bank Mobility app today.
Pain was interfering with Tiffany's active lifestyle. Same-day hip replacement at the Adina Orthopedic and Spine Institute got her back to the community she calls home. At Adina, we do what we love, so you can too.
Find a career you love with Pickaway Ross Adult Education. Skilled trades careers are in high demand with no signs of slowing down. Pickaway Ross offers career training programs with expert instructors and hands-on learning tactics to create a variety of opportunities. Visit our website for more information.
Discover Ross County. From the breathtaking outdoor adventures to the historic sights of Chillicothe and family-friendly events and festivals. Explore more at visitchillicotheohio.com or download the free mobile app today. Each week, we'll announce the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Intermedia Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union. And in December, we'll announce the Player of the Year. Nominate any amateur athlete by visiting littermedia.com and click on Player of the Week. You'll also see the players we've named throughout the year. Make your nomination today for the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Intermedia Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union.
Oh, there you are again. Oops.
Okay. This portion brought to you by McDonald's. The Haynes-Stoughton Healthcare Center High School Scoreboard is available for you to check out at littermedia.com. A number of things happened last night, and one of them, we talked about a pitching performance the day before. How about this one? Jace Reinhardt from Paint Valley, a no-hitter in a 1-0 win over Waverly out of VA Memorial Stadium last night for the Paint Valley Bearcats. So congratulations to Paint Valley on that. Unioto came up short, falling to Margaretta 3-2 yesterday. Bloom Carroll was the winner over Circleville in the Mid-State League Buckeye Division, and the only game played there. Chillicothe outlasted Piketon 7-6 there. Miami Trace was all over Adina 24-7. You can find all the scores available at littermedia.com. That's baseball. On the softball side of things, it was Bloom Carroll pounding Circleville 16-9. Taze Valley blanked Reynoldsburg 17-zip. And there were some big scores the last couple of nights of like 20+, but none as big as this one. Eastern Megs 34-5 over Federal Hawking.
Oh, wow.
Tell me that wasn't a 5-inning shortened game.
Yeah.
So you can find all those available now at littermedia.com.
And briefly yesterday, I did make a stop at St. Trace, and they had softball and baseball going on. So we'll have a handful of photos from each of those games available for your perusing later this afternoon.
That's the great thing about some of these spring sports, because they've got two things going on at two. The problem is you can't tell everything about what's going on in that one game if you leave it and go to the other one. But you're just taking photos.
Right. So. And I was only there for 45 minutes because I had to go to the pump house.
He was triple duty last night.
Well, I went for baseball, and then I got there, and the first thing you see when you pull into St. Trace is the softball field, not baseball. Mm-hmm. And I thought, more photos, more opportunities.
Glad you jumped on that.
Yes.
Very well done. The Blue Jackets slide continues. After falling to the Hurricanes 5-1, the CBJ are tied with Ottawa and Detroit for the final wild card spot with 6 games remaining. The problem is Ottawa owns the tiebreaker. So Blue Jackets take on Winnipeg tomorrow night in Columbus. They just need to get back to winning. They need to win out and hope somebody else loses.
Yeah. Although, you know who's relatively lucky in that regard is the Cleveland Cavaliers. They've clinched a playoff spot with their 118-111 win last night over the Warriors.
Way to go, Cavs.
Yes. So we'll see them in the postseason.
And just 5 games remaining in their season. That's hard to believe.
Yeah.
The Reds face the Rangers. That's an afternoon contest today. They're being played down in Arlington, Texas, 4:05. Wonder what the temperature is in Arlington today. It's got to be warmer than it is here.
Yeah, probably.
It's always hotter in Texas.
And they're a couple hours behind, so it'll be in the heat of the day, too.
I've only been to Texas during October, and that's when Dan Jr. had graduated from Lackland Air Force Base. So it was in October, and it was chilly. the whole time we were there. We had light jackets we were wearing.
When I lived in LA, it was about 50, 60 degrees every day.
Is that right?
Because I was living there from January through April. And for the most part, it was just mild temperatures.
And you said it was dank.
It was dank. It was a dank city.
You got to watch previous shows to understand what we were talking about there. And the Guardians will host the Chicago Cubs today, and they are having their home opener up in Cleveland, weather permitting. It starts at 4:10 this afternoon. And that's a look at sports.
Yes, it is.
Time to announce this week's Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Litter Media Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union. And his name is Reese Ward of the Ross County Trailblazers.
Man, what a stud this kid was. He came in during the second half of the game when it was relatively close.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was just corner three after corner three after corner three, nothing but net. This kid was on fire. Congratulations to Reese Ward of the Ross County Trailblazers. If you didn't make it to that game, we have a photo album on our Facebook. So go check that out. It was a great night.
Knocking the shots down.
Yes, he was.
Taking names and securing a win, no doubt, for the Trailblazers.
Yeah, and he was quick, too.
Yeah.
There are a lot of kids on that team are fast.
Mm-hmm. You got to watch out for the Trailblazers.
Yes, you do.
Special Olympics, of course, they'll transition from basketball into the outdoor events now with track and field and everything, too. So good luck to the kids. We are super proud of them. We certainly are. All of them are all-stars in this right. But today we're lauding Reese. So congratulations to Reese Ward.
Absolutely.
Now, if you've got a player you'd like to tell us about, feel free to send us an email. Send that to littermedia@gmail.com and give us some player statistics. And if you've got a photo, feel free to send that along as well. All right, coming up, a look at this date in history.
But first, we want to tell you about Litter Quality Propane, online propane monitoring and reporting. Know your home's consumption and gas remaining in the tank. You can find out more at litterpropane.com.
As a professional race car driver, I live for speed, power, and performance on and off the track. That's why I use the Dixie Chopper, the world's fastest lawnmower. Race into your local dealership today and test drive a new Dixie Chopper.
Introducing the Petland Litter Media Pet of the Week. We want to put your pet in the spotlight. Pets with paws to pets with fins. If they gallop, crawl, or slither, play fetch, or simply curl up and snuggle. Send us a photo of your pet and we'll announce a new pet each week. And one pet will be crowned Pet of the Year. To nominate your pet, visit littermedia.com. Click on Pet of the Week. Tell us about your pet and be sure to include a photo. Watch Litter Media Live each Thursday for the announcement of the Petland Litter Media Pet of the Week. No purchase necessary.
Contest applications must be from Ohio residents and at least 18 years old.
Tecumseh. Fascinating. Captivating. Mesmerizing. Tecumseh.
The Bean Foundation wants to raise awareness about suicide prevention by sharing 988. Trained crisis counselors are available to talk 24/7, 365 days a year. 988. Save the number. Save a life. To learn more about the Bean Foundation, click on this ad on littermedia.com.
Time for this date in history. It's the educational portion of the program. We go back to 1968.
And this is kind of a spoiler, I guess, what I decided to draw today.
He's a movie guru who has not seen this movie.
But I know the twist. Everybody knows the twist.
Just about everybody does, probably, except for Miss Amelia, my granddaughter. Science fiction film Planet of the Apes, starring the most extraordinary actor of all time, Charlton Heston, and Roddy McDowall, opens nationally in the United States. This, of course, if you've never seen the Planet of the Apes, is pretty much the last scene of Planet of the Apes. And this little figure that's down here in the middle, that's Charlton Heston going, "Ah!
You blew it up!"
at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never seen it, but I know the plot. I know what happens. I know everything about it. So my question is, for those who have seen it, is it still worth watching? Because I understand it's a classic.
Yeah. And if you, so Young and the Restless, if you've ever watched Young and the Restless, the guy who plays...
I don't think I've ever watched any soap opera.
Victor, I think is his name. He was in that original Planet of the Apes movie. And so he is still acting today on daytime soap operas. So you have to check that out. But I think it's important to have seen that movie. The other movies all have transitioned. There's evolution along the way. Imagine that evolution in a movie about apes and people. But I remember as a kid watching it and thinking to myself, gosh, that monkey can talk. You know, that was because they looked more like chimpanzees than they did looking at, but they were like human size.
And now watching it today, it just looks like a guy in a costume.
Right.
And that's one of the things about it, because 2001: A Space Odyssey.
We've been spoiled by CGI and everything
2001
else.
Came out a year before, and the apes in that look so much better than Planet of the Apes.
You're right. You're right. And that might have something to do with the money available to produce the film.
Yeah, I guess Kubrick probably had whatever budget he wanted.
Exactly. A little bit different. And of course, Charlton Heston, he's going to be on TV again tomorrow night. Tomorrow night is the 10. Tell me you've seen the 10 Commandments.
I haven't.
You've not seen the 10. This is generation gap right here. Whenever we talk about a generation gap, we have displayed it just in watching movies or having not watched particular movies.
Right.
Tomorrow night, speaking of Saturday night, this will be at 7 p.m. on ABC. They will again show Cecil B. DeMille's The 10 Commandments. It tells the story of the Israelites.
I know what it is. I've heard of it.
Being removed from captivity in Egypt.
Mark Smith in World Civilization would talk about that movie all the time.
Yeah. And you still haven't seen it.
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh, my.
He talked about that, and he talked about C.S. Lewis and baseball.
If Mark could go back and regrade everything he's heard from you on this show.
I shared with him that I read The Great Divorce by C.S. Lewis recently, and he said I get an A+. So,
and see, I've not read that. So I'm not well read. When the Da Vinci Code came out, I had read the book. And I was excited to see the movie. And I pictured Tom Hanks playing the character as I'm reading the movie. Right. I'm thinking to myself, Tom Hanks would be great for this. And sure enough, he's in the movie. But then the end of the movie was different than the end of the book. And I said at that point in time, I'm either never reading a book again or I'm never watching a movie again.
And one of those is easier to do.
Yes. So
now, The Great Divorce, I read it in one day on Sunday. Yeah. It's less than 200 pages. Mm-hmm. It's a quick, easy read, and I think you should do it. Mm-hmm. C.S. Lewis.
But you've already explained it to me, so.
Yeah, but it's still worth reading for yourself.
Once again, is watching Planet of the Apes, the original, worth it?
Probably.
You should do it.
Probably.
If you've seen the others.
I answered my own question in a roundabout way. Thanks for helping me get there.
It took, 5 minutes? But we finally got him to come around. All right. Enjoy your Easter holiday weekend. We are back at it again on Monday with another edition. Oh, sorry.
We got to talk about our national days today.
Yes, please fill us in. I was concerned about the big holiday. Here are the other holidays.
Chocolate Mousse Day. Film Score Day. Do you have a favorite film score? Because one immediately comes to mind for me.
Star Wars.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Pink Panther.
My pick was Blade Runner by Vangelis.
Okay.
That soundtrack is just as good as the movie itself when you listen to it alone. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Find a Rainbow Day, Tweed Day, and of course, Good Friday.
Tweed Day.
Tweed Day.
So what's Saturday and Sunday?
All right, let's tell you about
Since it's
Saturday and
Friday, we may as well.
Saturday is Vitamin C Day.
All right.
Chicken Cordon Bleu Day. Hug a News Person Day. Now, I'll tell you right now, I don't like to be hugged by anybody except my wife, so you can refrain from hugging me. I'll give you a high five. It's School Librarian Day, World Corporate Health Day, Walk Around Things Day, and Handmade Day.
Walk Around Things Day?
Yeah, like Jericho.
Ah, gotcha. Okay.
I guess.
So walk around, Bridge Street 13 times today and see what happens.
Sunday is Caramel Day, Deep Dish Pizza Day, First Contact Day. That's interesting. Flash Drive Day, Go for Broke Day, Gold Star Spouses Day, Nebraska Day, Raisin and Spice Bar Day, Read a Roadmap Day, and of course, Easter.
What's the top there?
Oh, Saturday is also Love Our Children Day. I didn't even see that one.
There you go. Very nice. Glad we got that out of the way.
Yes.
Easter's coming Sunday. And get to church and enjoy your Easter dinner with family and everything as well. And say hi to the Easter Bunny for us, too. That's it for the program. We're back at it again on Monday with another edition of Litter Media Live.